Call the meeting to order at this time. Ms. James, if you would, please do the invocation. Mr. Childs, lead us in the pledge, please.
Lord, as we come to you tonight, we ask you to give a special blessing on our veterans. For those that are serving now and those who have been lost, we ask you to bless their families and be with them. Lord, we ask your blessings tonight on this council, that we make the correct decisions for this city, what's best. Now, as we go through this meeting again, we ask you to be with our country, be with our leaders of this nation, that they will make the right decisions so we can continue our freedoms that we have now. In Christ's name, we ask this prayer. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is the reading of the minutes of the previous council meetings, the minutes of special called meeting on October the 28th, and the meetings of the regularly scheduled council meeting on October the 28th. If members of council have had an opportunity to review these, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Next item on the agenda, communications from the mayor. Just to touch on what Ms. James had in her prayer. Let's remember our veterans. It's because of the men and women that have died and the ones that are currently serving that we can have meetings like this tonight. So we had our opening ceremony and our ribbon cutting for our honor park on Saturday. We had a huge crowd. And let's just always, not just today, but every day, let's remember them, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to have meetings like this, and we wouldn't have the freedom that we have. As you can see, Miss Stenton isn't with us tonight. They had to rush her aunt to the hospital. A lot of you people know Glenda. She's served, volunteered in this community for many, many years. Mr. Stennett used to be on the council that passed away, and his wife Louise that's passed away. She is Louise's sister, for those that might jog your memory just a little bit. So let's be sure to keep her in our thoughts and our prayers. Next item on the agenda is zoning matters. We have none. Next item on the agenda is ordinances. Item number 1 under ordinances. Third and final reading of ordinance number 2019-33. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2019-33, ordinance to approve the 2020 fiscal year budget for the city of Port Oglethorpe, whereas the duly elected governing authority of the city of Port Oglethorpe, Georgia, is authorized under Article 9, Section 2, Paragraph 3 of the Constitution of the State of Georgia, the Official Code of Georgia, annotated 3635-3, and the Charter for the City of Port Oglethorpe to adopt reasonable ordinances to protect and improve the public health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the City of Port Oglethorpe, Georgia, and whereas the duly elected governing authority of the City of Port Oglethorpe, Georgia is vested in the City Council, composed of a mayor and 5 council members, and whereas that all ordinances, parts of ordinance in conflict herewith are hereby repealed, and whereas that if any part of this ordinance shall be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair other parts of this ordinance, unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Now, therefore, it is hereby ordained by the governing authority of the City of Port Oglethorpe that the following shall constitute the fiscal year 2020 budget. This ordinance shall take effect on January 1st, 2020. First reading, 23rd day of September 2019. Second reading, 14th day of October 2019. Third and final reading, 11th day of November 2019.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Ms. James?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 2 under ordinances. Second reading of ordinance number 2019-35. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2019-35, ordinance to amend the 2019 fiscal year budget ordinance 2018-16 for the city of Port Oglethorpe. Whereas the duly elected governing authority of the city of Port Oglethorpe, Georgia is vested in, is authorized under Article 9, Section 2, Paragraph 3 of the Constitution of the state of Georgia, the official code of Georgia annotated 3635-3, and the charter for the city of Port Oglethorpe, Georgia, to adopt regional ordinances to protect and improve the public health, safety, welfare, and aesthetics of the citizens of the city of Port Oglethorpe, Georgia. And whereas the duly elected governing authority for the city of Port Oglethorpe, Georgia is vested in the city council composed of a mayor and 5 council members. And whereas all ordinances or parts of ordinance in conflict herewith are hereby repealed. Whereas that if any part of this ordinance shall be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Whereas it is hereby ordained by the governing authority for the city of Port Oglethorpe that the following shall constitute the amended 2019 fiscal year budget. This ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor. This is second reading, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Item number 3 under ordinances. First reading of ordinance number 2019-36. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance 2019-36, annexation. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Port Oglethorpe, Georgia, and is hereby ordained by authority thereof, Section 1, that the following property owned by GRK Investment, Dennis King, and known as 0210089, corner of Thomas Road and 6th Street, Port Oglethorpe, Georgia 30742, is hereby annexed into the city of Port Oglethorpe. Said property is particularly described in Exhibit A attached to this ordinance. Section 2, if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, that this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. This is first reading, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Item number 4 under ordinances. First reading of ordinance number 2019-37. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2019-37, rezoning. Be it ordained by the mayor and council for the city of Port Oglethorpe, Georgia, and is hereby ordained by authority thereof, Section 1, that the following property owned by Wade Real Estate Trust co-trustees Jeffrey R. Wade and Penny Y. O'Neill Wade, and known as MAP 0002C062, 18 Hargrave Road, Port Oglethorpe, Georgia 30742, is hereby rezoned to an R5 zoning. Said property is particularly described in Exhibit A attached to this ordinance. Section 2, if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. First reading, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Next item on the agenda is resolutions. Resolution number 2019-12, amendment to Catoosa County and cities of Port Oglethorpe and Ringo Joint Comprehensive Plan 2011 through 2031. Ms. Simpkins, do you have a summary?
I do. Mayor and Council, this is a resolution accepting changes that have been approved by the state to our Joint Comprehensive Plan. Updates include a broadband element in order to align Port Oglethorpe with some state goals to help communities bring high-speed internet service to unserved areas. So by updating our plan with this item, if it's approved, Mayor and Council, the broadband element and 3 work program items will be included in our Joint Comprehensive Plan, so we are in a position to obtain state funding when it's available. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Mr. Child.
Yes.
Mr. Crawford.
Yes.
Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Ms. James.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous. Next item on the agenda is reading of the city clerk of any communications. We have none. Next item on the agenda is new business. Item number 1, election results. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor and City Council, the results of the City of Fort Oglethorpe election from November 5th are as follows. Incumbent Mayor Earl Gray received 523 votes. Candidate Lewis Ham received 215 votes. Councilmember Ward 1 incumbent Rhonda James received 432 votes. Councilmember Ward 1 candidate Melissa Jacks received 312 votes. And Derek was unopposed in this race. So congratulations to Mayor Gray, Derek, and Rhonda on returning to their seats.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. Item number 2, under new business, proposed approval of IGA with Catoosa County. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor, there have been no changes to the intergovernmental agreement since it was passed by the Catoosa County Commission on November 5th. And I think probably by now a lot of folks know about the nuts and bolts of the agreement, but in general, Catoosa County will assume, if approved, Catoosa County will assume fire protection services for the city of Fort Oglethorpe, much like they've done for the city of Ringgold on January 1st, 2020. Part of the agreement, just some details, station number 1 on Forest Road will remain open and fully staffed. Station 10 on Macksmith Road will be leased to the county to be continued for use as a training facility. Station number 8 on Old Mill Road is currently operated by the city of Fort Oglethorpe, but that station is not owned by the city of Fort Oglethorpe, therefore it is not part of this intergovernmental agreement. Additionally, all 7 full-time firefighters with the city of Fort Oglethorpe have been offered official positions with Catoosa County. The full-time fire marshal has been offered a position of fire marshal for all of Catoosa County. The agreement commits the county to maintaining or improving our current ISO rating of 3. And all of these services will be provided to the city of Fort Oglethorpe for a 50-year term in exchange for our annual insurance premium tax, which is $660,000 is what we're projecting for the year 2020. The agreement may be canceled with 120 days written notice. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 3, under new business, proposed approval to purchase dental and life insurance. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor and City Council, Russ Blakely and Associates LLC represents the city of Fort Oglethorpe in the employee benefits marketplace. They have negotiated with insurance providers on our behalf for health, dental, and vision insurance. For dental and life insurance, the January 2019 Guardian initial renewal started out with a 9% rate increase. However, RBA was able to negotiate that rate down to 5% on the dental and waive the increase on life insurance and vision. So the total cost to the city for employee dental, life, and vision insurance through Guardian is $150,136 beginning January 1st, 2020. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 4, proposed approval of agreement to renew Catoosa Citizens for Literacy contract. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor and City Council, since 2004, the city has supported Catoosa Citizens for Literacy by a contract between the agencies. A little bit about Catoosa Citizens for Literacy. The organization initiates, plans, directs, and coordinates programs for improving literacy levels in the city of Fort Oglethorpe. The Catoosa Citizens for Literacy oversee GED classes and continuing education classes at no cost to the citizens of Fort Oglethorpe. Our annual contribution since 2004 has been $5,000, so this request is to provide that $5,000 for another year. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 5, under new business, proposed approval to repay GFA loan. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor and City Council, you may recall on March 23rd, 2018, the city received a Georgia Environmental Finance Authority low-interest loan in the amount of $3 million for use on our inflow and infiltration reduction project, as well as 2 pump stations, Beaver Road and West Side Pump Station. This loan has not been needed. Both projects, or all projects, have been completed, and with using fund balance and 2014 bond proceeds. The inflow and infiltration project total cost was approximately $1.8 million, and the pump station's total cost was $642,000. And again, we were able to use cash reserves to fund those projects, so we recommend paying the bond proceeds back to GFA.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 6, under new business, proposed approval of Christmas bonus. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor and City Council, the city of Fort Oglethorpe has been blessed in the past, at least the years that I've been here, to provide our staff with $100 gift cards during the holiday season. And this year, we recommend approval of an annual holiday bonus for 125 full-time and part-time employees at a total cost of $12,500. And currently, there are 85 full-time employees with the city, 4 permanent part-time employees, and 36 part-time fire personnel in our organization. So if approved, these gift cards would be distributed at our annual holiday luncheon in early December.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 7, under new business, proposed approval of December 23rd, 2019 holiday. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor and City Council, in the past, it's been practice that if we have a holiday that falls on a kind of odd day, this year Christmas Day is on Wednesday, December 25th. The city already provides Christmas Eve, which is Tuesday the 24th, off as a holiday, that we provide an additional holiday on December 23rd this year, for folks to enjoy the holidays with their family.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 8, under new business, proposed approval to purchase replacement awnings for pool umbrellas. Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. The Parks and Recreation Department recommends approval to award the contract for replacing the 11 pool umbrellas at the city pool to Tennessee Awning Company in the amount of $8,325.35. The umbrellas at our pool have endured wear and tear for the past 11 years. Fabrics riddled with holes, tears, the light portion of the umbrellas are stained and mildewed even after several cleanings by park staff. In addition, all the balance ends are frayed or torn. The pool umbrella frames are serviceable. The process will involve taking one cover for patterning and design to guarantee proper fitting onto the frame. If necessary, changes will be made to ensure perfect fitting. Then the remaining 10 umbrellas will be fabricated. The color scheme will be Pacific blue and smoke gray. We are purposely avoiding the white because of the lack of dyeing process. Will keep from the mildew and the stain occurring in the future. We have fabric warranty of 10 years. And finally, I want to take a moment to say thank you and recognize one of my employees, Mr. Roger Costa, who was had played a critical role in getting the great proposal.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 9 under new business, proposed approval of LMIG change order. Mr. Long.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is a change order. We have previously got it done back in August and estimated amount of $160,000. This was paved Forest Road from Lafayette Road out to the park boundaries right before Ridge Bridge Road. And the total amount after all the repairs of the bad places and the striping and leveling and the topping on it, the total ended up $189,532.80. The state will be paying $103,783.33. That will leave for a change order amendment. The city's portion will be $85,749.47. Recommended approval.
Thank you, Mr. Long. I have a motion to approve.
Motion. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 10 under new business, proposed approval of surplus property. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor and City Council, this is a short list tonight for surplus property. In 2005, the city purchased 5 used Model R6 touchscreen machines to use for elections as voting machines. The Catoosa County Board of Elections has requested the 5 machines as they will be turned into the Elections Division of the Georgia Secretary of State's office. The state is collecting all machines from cities and counties as they are part of a federal court case. Approval of this item will allow us to release those voting machines to Catoosa County and the state elections office.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Next item on the agenda, city manager's report. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor and City Council, I was requested to give an update on the Lafayette Road Streetscape Improvement Project. So I got in touch with the project manager from the Georgia Department of Transportation, and he provided some additional detail. The construction contract will be bid out on March 20th of 2020. The bids will be opened on April 20th of 2020. The construction contract will be awarded no later than June 20th, 2020. Construction will begin no later than July 20th of 2020. And construction will be complete no later than January of 2021. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. Next item on the agenda, city council comments. Ms. James.
Just want to say again, happy Veterans Day to anyone out there, and if they have anyone that's a veteran in their family, we thank you for that very much.
Thank you, Ms. James. Mr. Childs.
Just ditto what Council Lady Vonda said. I'm a veteran, and I'm very proud. My whole family was, so I really appreciate everybody's been in service.
Thank you, Mr. Child. Mr. Crawford.
Yeah, same thing. Thank you to all the veterans out there. We appreciate you, and just again to the Council Lady Stan, I know she's not here. She did a great job with the Honor Park celebration. It was very nice. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, thank you to the veterans as well, and Glenda's in her thoughts. I appreciate you letting us know about that. Hopefully she gets better soon. She's a great lady and a great citizen. And also to echo Councilman Crawford, kudos to Paula. Honor Park was really great. You were there. I'm sure you enjoyed it. And it's a really cool park. Go check it out if you haven't.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Next item on the agenda, citizens petitions and requests. We do not have any tonight. Next item on the agenda is executive session. Ms. Simpkins, do we still need to go in executive session for personnel?
Yes, sir.
All righty, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel.
Motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This council is in executive session. I will entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are out of executive session. In executive session, we discussed personnel. Next item on the agenda is adjournment. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.